Good evening, cowards. Rick Hebbard, 97 Spruce Lane. Nice to see a bunch of fat, ugly women in this. What?
This is Rick Hebbard. Today, junkies, Rick is going to teach us a little lesson about freedom of speech. Rick Hebbard is from Dover, New Hampshire, and he's a bit of a troublemaker. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But it's always important to remember that the best test of free speech is not things that you agree with. That's the easy part. It's the things that make your skin crawl a little bit and make you angry. And that's why we all have to strive to be a little less sensitive about how we react to things. And this is a great example of that sensitivity. Just listen to the audible gasps as Rick Hebbard started to speak at this forum.
Good evening, cowards. Rick Hebbard, 97 Spruce Lane. Nice to see a bunch of fat, ugly women in this. What?
Excuse you.
What?
Can we stick to the agenda?
No.
I'm speaking. They're fat, ugly women is what they are.
We're not having that.
Let's talk about it.
We're not having that.
You don't have to. Bye.
That ain't free speech.
It's called free speech. Bye.
That's not free speech. That's insulting.
Bye. That's good. Shut up.
First of all, 3 cheers for this lady right here because she gets it. She's laughing as this happens, and she says, it's free speech, man. The guy that you hear talking in the background, he says, quote unquote, that's not free speech, that's insulting. This is my entire point, really, just on a platter. People don't understand that things that offend them aren't necessarily something that you can't legally say. And we get those wires crossed quite a bit. So let's listen to more now of Rick Hebbard, and he goes to state how he doesn't like this book. The book is called Boy Toy, and it's about a student who had sex with a teacher, and then later on in his life, he was reflecting on his relationship with his teacher. It's a young adult novel, and it's been banned from various schools in the United States. Anyhow, they decide to let Rick Hebbard talk again, and he's starting to make his point when they shut him down once more.
Okay, everybody, stop. Let Mr. Hebbard speak, please. Enough. Go ahead, Rick.
And we wonder why children are retarded stupid today. We wonder why. We wonder why when we have these pathetic people here called teachers, the children's mind. And if you people are too stupid to know what is, it's called control, you morons.
Are you speaking directly to the book?
Yes, I
Because
am.
Okay,
It reflects off that wall there and comes back into your ears. Imagine
Focus
that.
on the book, please, because that's what Citizens Forum is
I'm
about.
talking
here.
about the book.
Okay.
I'm talking about the stupidity of the people who want the book in the high school. That's what I'm talking about. The retards that we have in our community.
I don't
The
know that we
abject
need to allow
retard.
this kind of abusive
no.
speech. I'm not aware of what the process
Please,
is, but I
go ahead and
think we have
violate
a
my
right to
constitutional
stop
rights.
this
I
kind of
dare
abuse.
you.
Now we're getting to the point here. Hebbard says, please violate my First Amendment rights. And he's correct to point that out. There's no more appropriate forum for him to talk about this than the actual local community forum that he's speaking at right now. Even if he's saying stuff that you think is absolutely badass crazy. That's just the way it works. Now, I told you he was a bit of a troublemaker, and that's kind of putting it lightly. There was a write-up in the local paper one time about all the run-ins this guy has had with the law and with local officials, and there's a lot of them. And one of the things that came up was Hebbard actually tried to interrupt a 5K run for deaf children, and he was going to plow his car through it. They almost took his license away for this. This guy gets into all sorts of trouble out there. He's one of those characters. But he's not wrong about his First Amendment right to free speech. And he kept pushing on this until they shut the whole damn meeting down because they didn't like the meansy words they were hearing.
Well,
That's not very
Dare
nice.
you
Say
violate
something-
my constitutional rights. Go ahead.
Mr. Hebbard, would you please
something.
say something specific about the book so that we can let you continue speaking rather than making these generalities?
Can I get there?
Fast, really fast.
No, there's no fast. You
I'm
don't
saying
tell me how to
fast.
speak.
Excuse me?
You don't tell me how to speak.
Well,
Now
yeah,
be
I am
quiet.
telling
Give me
you.
my
I'm
5
telling
minutes.
you how to speak in this situation. Yeah.
Shut up and give me my
Point
5
of order.
minutes.
I'd like to propose a recess.
Sit down, please.
I'd like to propose
My
a
5
recess.
Now, don't interrupt me. This is my constitutional right to
Dr. Meaver, point of
speak,
order.
and if
I'd
you
like to
ugly
propose a
people don't
recess.
like
This
it-
is unacceptable.
Huh, imagine
I
that.
propose a recess.
Oh, cowards.
Okay, do I have a motion to recess?
I move to recess.
Bye,
All in favor
girls.
of recessing? Yeah, maybe sit down and take a breath.
No, I have the
Okay,
right
then
to
you can
speak to you.
continue
You
speaking,
people
but
are
we're
stupid.
recessing.
So these three women are certainly upset at what they're hearing. And they don't know if they're really allowed to do it, but they want to shut this guy up because Rick Hebbard is annoying to them and obnoxious. And of course he is. But he gets to have his say. And so they come back from their like emergency break that they went on, and they finally let him say his piece. This is how it went before we do the final breakdown.
So when you go through it, you know what the difference is and where up is up and down is down and left is left and right is right and wrong is wrong. And you people are dumb people. You're not smart enough to know that you should take this book out and put it in the, potentially put it in the regular library. So anyway, that's why we have a bunch of morons in front of us today, because they grew up being taught by stupid people and communist people and indoctrinating people. That's why you people don't have the brains to see that this could be hurting children of the future who are gonna grow up and be just as dumb as you people. Probably dumber. So there's nothing that's gonna change here. You communists are gonna do what you do, and the public is just gonna pay the price, that's all. And at some point, the tide's gonna change, and then you people are gonna be extinguished, that's all.
Extinguished?
That's what happens.
Time.
Yeah, we're all extinguished.
Thank you.
That's your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, communists. Have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Anyone else for Citizens Forum?
Imagine having to follow Rick Hebbard. That is something else. And that's why this whole thing is sort of a good example of the debate around free speech, because free speech can be uncomfortable. And this is something we should be pushing through to every single college student in the United States and beyond. And beyond that, just to every person, that you're going to hear people who disagree with you, and that's okay. And if you don't like it, just don't listen or go somewhere else. But people have a right to have a different point of view. Just like Rick Hebbard. Is he a nice guy? No, he's not. He seems pretty miserable, to be honest, but he's allowed to be that way. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. We went from all the gasps,
What?
people who said, hang on, that's not free speech, that's insulting, to the one woman that got it, and then to everybody just hearing this man out so they could be done with it. And that, in a full circle, is how it should go. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want more videos just like this.